Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have an interview where dancehall legend Sean Paul talked about Eminem after the question of a collaboration was brought up, and this one is quite interesting based on Eminem's latest project, since Sean Paul was unaware that Eminem has now worked with an associate of his on Farewell. More on this in a bit, and we also have more on King Crook, who has dropped some details about a new album he's working on right now. And before we dive right in, if content like this is up your street, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So King Crook was asked on Twitter, any updates on your next album, Crook? Are you almost done, or do you still need to work on it a bit more? And Crook dropped this in response. I'm approaching the process very differently this time. I'm gonna record 100 songs to fit into the concept of the album and put the best ones together like puzzle pieces to make the picture complete. I have 26 ideas done so far, and upon reading this, a user stated exactly what came to mind. Yo, Crook, that is gonna take forever, bro. You're kidding, right? Since he said 100 songs will be recorded and he's got 26 ideas so far, but Crook replied, nah, it won't take too long. And some are wondering, does it have to be 100? I feel like alone just working to hit that number might hinder the quality a bit. I do like the concept of recording as much as you can that fits the idea and picking out the best ones. But to my knowledge, recording much more records than needed and then selecting the best is more common than people think in the creation process, at least for rappers at the top level. But what do you think about Crook's process? Save your comments for later. And moving on to the next point, some of you that have been with us for a while now know that I'm a big fan of Sean Paul, and recently I got a DM because of this, about a Sean Paul interview where the question was brought up about how he's collaborated with a lot of legends but not Eminem, and he stated,
I really respect Eminem. I've just never ever had the opportunity to be around him other than on that stage at MTV or whenever that was years ago. I've never had his number. I've never been in a studio where he was near. Stage shows that I did go to that he was there, he had so much security around him, blocking people off from taking pics or even talking. So just that type of dude. I would love to, but I personally, I just don't know. I don't think he likes reggae or dancehall music. I would love to. Again, he's one of the most potent MCs out there in terms of putting words together that you never thought would rhyme or make a sentence, and he's dope that way. And so, of course, I'd love to work with him. That's greatness, you know what I mean?
Now, Sean Paul also had more to say on Eminem, and before we get on with it, notice he brings up the point that he's not sure if Eminem is interested in the dancehall genre to begin with, but as you'd see, that's because he was unaware of the fact that Eminem actually sampled a former associate of his on Music to Be Murdered by Serrani, who was also on Sean Paul's Trinity album, hence this.
I've never seen him or heard him do anything with reggae or dancehall or mention a dancehall artist. You do hear Kanye, and you do hear Drake and all of that. My problem with those is that they don't say that it's dancehall or reggae that's their inspiration. So
hip-hop fans often complain about people stealing from the culture and all that, but as you heard Sean Paul on that one, the same can be said about hip-hop artists like Drake and Kanye in some cases, not given credit when they get inspired by dancehall or reggae. At least Eminem wasn't trying to hide his source of inspiration on Farewell and gave credit to Serrani. And if you head to No Games that Eminem sampled, the comment section is filled with comments like this. Eminem has good ears. Eminem's Farewell brought me back to this banger. Eminem brought me back here. M really has good Caribbean taste for real. Respect, rap god. And the interviewer also brought up the fact that right now Sean Paul and Eminem look to have a common problem in their genres where they both get discredited because of their appearance. So there's some common ground, but Sean Paul generally believes Eminem may not be interested in the genre, which was the case until Music to Be Murdered by dropped, and I'll leave a link to the full interview in the description. Now, some of you may not know this, but Eminem and Sean Paul have actually performed on the same beat, for Eminem on What's the Difference and Sean Paul on Breathe.
That's cool, and I appreciate the offer, but if I do decide to really murder my daughter's mama,
but me know me not no fear to you, me stand up like a man and I'll be there because I care for you.
And if you follow me on social media, you know that Farewell is one of my favorite songs from Music to Be Murdered by, So a Man Can Dream. But what do you think about a Sean Paul Eminem collaboration? Comment below and see you on the next one.